welcome to the Louise K's football predictions, or LK football predictions. Because I was a bit of an idiot last week, our podcast didn't record. So we're kind of doing sort of 2 weeks worth of podcast in one, because obviously this being an Arsenal-based podcast, we need to celebrate the North London derby. So lots to talk about this week. Obviously, as I said, the North London derby. We'll touch briefly on the internationals. And of course on the weekend's predictions coming up as well. So I'll get my lovely team to say hello. The first person we've got is Joe. Do you want to say hello, Joe?
Hello everybody, it's Joe here. I'm very happy today, good, I'm very happy. Seeing those pictures of Urs with the Arsenal team was beautiful, so I could be better.
Good stuff. Alright, James, do you want to say hello?
Hi, yeah, on Twitter it's LLCoolJames91, and hello.
Awesome. No pressing buttons, James. I'm really going to go.
I'm just listening.
And last but not least, obviously Callum. Do you want to say hello?
Hello. Yes, you'll find me on Twitter under @EmirateZone, and let's get cracking.
Awesome. Right, well, as I said, because last week's podcast got a bit messed up, we can retouch on the North London derby. Who wants to start? Just jump in.
Hold on. I'll jump in.
Alright, awesome.
Well, can't really complain of the result, as much as it may have been slightly unexpected by a few. It was a solid game by us. I think probably one of the better performances in the derby that I've seen for a while. Certainly more convincing. Seemed to play very solid. Everyone knew what they were doing. Everyone knew what their job was. Which, unfortunately, we can't say the same for the Spurs. Unfortunately,
no, can't. With the amount of new signings, couldn't do anything.
107 million's worth.
107 million quid, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have their arse from their elbow, did they? It was pretty embarrassing, really, on their part.
Well, you don't have to worry about them, don't worry about them or us. And we got the win. I can't even remember it, it seems so long ago, Obviously last week we spoke about it for ages.
Oh, what? Seriously? Will you fuck off?
I'm trying to think, what was the score?
Just to brush up on what we were saying last time. Basically, I've watched the goal again, and I know like Giroud gets a bit of a stick every now and then, but that finish is incredible. It's sort of like Torval and Dean gliding like giants off the foot. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and the celebration as well. Like we said last time, the new players that they got, I don't think Spurs briefed them of how important a game of that calibre is. No, because I don't know about the derbies where they're from. I don't know. I know Roma and Lazio for that Lamella. That's a big one.
And a hot derby, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think they knew how important a derby game was, whereas Giroud and all these, I mean, we've been established as a team. That's like we've blended in and stuff like that. I think Flamini's defensive organisation as well was incredible. Like for me, he was my man of the match.
He was brilliant. He was
so good.
It was like a revelation. Like everyone was like, "Oh, we've signed Flamini again. What's all this about?" But then everyone now is like, "Why didn't we sign him earlier?" It was incredible. It was incredible to see.
I was glad to see him leave originally, Flamini. So good again.
Yeah.
But just like a lot of them, though, wasn't it? Off the back of a really promising, season. Again, he was probably one of our better players in his last year.
Yeah.
And he saw his name in lights, and saw the dollar signs, and made the bigger move elsewhere. And he was, on the long list of players who have openly admitted to, regretting, leaving Arsenal when they did, and saying they wish they'd stayed on. Because of how their careers, sort of continued at other clubs. But no, I've got to agree with you guys. It's good to see him back, and you could see that it was important to him just with how he reacted as soon as he come on the field. He was organising people, he was shouting at players.
But they were quite frightened, didn't they? Like they were like, "Oh, blimey, all right, do as Flamini says."
Very nice little sign there. How long have we signed him for? Is it 2 years we got him for?
I think it's a 2 or 3 year deal. Yeah.
2 years. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely take that.
Yeah,
very happy
brilliant.
with him coming into the team. Very happy with that. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Can't be grumbled at.
Well, we needed it, didn't we? We need like a hard man midfielder. And I know Arteta's been really good at the holding role, but if he gets injured, then it's a bit of a tricky one. I think Flamini he'll definitely do a job for us. And I think he's going to be there. He knows the team, he knows the league as well, which is good. And we didn't, typical Arsene Wenger, didn't even pay a penny for him,
No, well, it's a different type of football as well. Like he's come from Italy, which is very defensive and stuff, and he's teaching these new players another style of way to play. It's a new sort of tactic if you want, and it did work.
Yeah, let's just hope some of the young kids, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he made Mertesacker look a lot better player than what he normally is. Like, I'm a fan of Mertesacker, but yeah, he scored a volley apparently in the international. I haven't seen it yet.
It wasn't a volley. I think it was a 1 yard tapping. I think.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah. It was a mixture of the two. He kind of volleyed it from on the goal.
He will get the bicycle kick one day. It will happen.
I'm happy for the gig, you know. I'm happy for the guy. You know.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So did you guys watch any of the other games the weekend before last? Did you watch? Because I think the only
Sunderland, which was down as my other favourite game.
Yeah.
Just point of view of I love Ian Holloway. I love the touchline dancing and everything, but it's just how much it means to him. I mean, I think that, like we talked about, the Canio's honeymoon season is really starting to.
Yeah, he'll have a job before Christmas.
I think if he loses to Arsenal at the weekend, which I think he will, I think he's gone, because this week I think Sunderland had their full team play their reserves, like their under-21.
And they lost,
Yeah, and he told the players that they couldn't come out to the press and speak about it, and none of the players respect him.
Yeah, he's got a very wayward kind of ethic with how he manages, and I don't know, he worked wonders at Swindon. He seemed to do really well, and I think he jumped into the Premier League a little too early, I think. And he's going to be another one of these managers who spends millions and millions on a squad, thinking that buying sort of big or a lot of players is going to help him. And I think he's going to go the way of Redknapp. He's going to.
Yeah, I was going to say Mark Hughes. I was going to say more that kind of thing. Because Redknapp normally does all right. Fair play to him. He's not with QPR, but normally
Yeah.
He took Spurs from mid-table to where they fucking are now. What the Canio did, which I think is wrong, is when you criticise a player in an interview, he named John O'Shea as one of the reasons why they lost. To me, I think that's out of order, because I'm like, do it in the dressing room, but when you're speaking to the press,
it's got to be a team effort, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm like, to come out and say that one single player cost you. I think it was John O'Shea.
Yeah,
I remember, and he said in the interview, that's why we've lost the game. And I'm like, how do you feel if you're that player?
Yeah. You know what? I don't feel bad blaming John O'Shea. I don't really like the bloke. So.
No. How do you feel going on the bus knowing that he singly blamed you as the reason why you've lost the game? I wouldn't be happy.
It's like the way he dealt with that play. I think he might have been either pre-season or towards the end of March he was pictured with notes all around it or something in a casino or something.
Yeah.
The way he just kind of publicly sort of ridiculed him for kind of doing it, and I think he dropped him. I can't remember who it was.
I think it was Barnsley. Oh yeah, Barnsley. Yeah, but he shouldn't really be doing that kind of behaviour.
Yeah.
So he should be kicking off on him.
He was saying, I think the Canio was saying that he wants him to go on loan to Ipswich to learn a lesson or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's just the way he went about it. Obviously, he shouldn't be doing that kind of thing.
He's a nutcase though, isn't he?
He's a Canio, just a bit.
Sheffield Wednesday game when we were kids, he pushed that referee.
And then he got in Winterburn's face, and Winterburn was trying to get in his face, and then Canio turned round and looked at him, and Winterburn jumped back about 10 yards.
Yeah, bless him.
Right, so did anyone get any predictions right last week other than me?
I can't remember mine.
No, because you're all rubbish. You may mock me for not being able to record a podcast, but I can get a prediction right.
Yeah, don't ask me to do your lottery numbers just yet. Give me a few weeks, I'm still sort of new.
No, I think I got a few results right, but I didn't get the score lines correct. So,
yeah. I used to get loads of results right until I started doing them as accumulators, and now I just lose money.
Didn't you? Which you were proud of. I remember you tweeting me or messaging me going, oh yes, I've got a prediction.
Yeah, of course, because I'm a girl, I'm not supposed to know about these sorts of things. True, I told you, I don't need to know. So anyway, moving on from last week's games, there was transfer deadline day the week before last, wasn't it? And us being all Arsenal fans, we actually signed someone.
Still can't believe it either.
Yeah, I think it's still sinking in for a lot of people, isn't it?
I can't believe it's wind up. But,
it hit home today.
Too much seeing
him in that Run DMC shirt. His grin was bigger than his eyes, wasn't it?
Grin was Podolski, yeah, bloody hell.
The smile on his face was a picture. Like he had pictures with Chamberlain and others, and you could see Oxlade-Chamberlain like, yes. For now he's here. You know, it's like a kid.
Get in, Don Gervinho, get in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to have massive influence, not just on the obvious, like the technical ability within the squad and stuff, but just just the morale, because the rest of the squad knowing that we've brought in a world class midfielder,
an established team and everything as well.
Wow.
He's already got the relationship with Podolski and Mertesacker, so there's obviously going to be the banter there and stuff. So I think he'll settle in really well. But he's got to lift the team. You should imagine, even if he doesn't necessarily play in his first couple of games.
Inside Bergkamp, the fans have already took to him already. He's set. I mean, he could be at Arsenal for the rest of his life now. It's just set up perfectly for him. Then we love him already. I mean, his shirts they ran out, didn't they? When the shirts ran out and everything.
He sold £1 million pounds worth of shirts.
He's out selling Bayern, isn't he? By like
yeah. I was in the Armoury on Sunday or Saturday of last week, and I was going to get myself an away shirt with Ozil on it, and before I even asked to do it, they just, two staff ran up to me and was, oh yeah, by the way, you can't have Ozil in either of the lettering, you can't have Zola. I was like, alright, okay. I'll put the shirt maybe, right? But he's mad how quick he's selling the shirt, so hopefully it will be a good message to the board to show you've got to sort of spend money to make money sometimes.
I found it quite amusing, all these people on Twitter who have, like, you see these tweets that have been retweeted, he'll never leave Real Madrid, he'll never do this and that, just how people really doubted it, and it's kind of smug that it's actually happened.
I'm sure we all must have doubted it at some point.
Yeah.
He's world class.
Yeah. Spurs lost their 11, we gained an 11. That's all that matters to me.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
Good times.
That's fair.
God. I just can't wait for the Sunderland game. I can't wait to see him play. I can't wait to see him in that strip.
He will.
Yeah, I think he'll come off the bench. I think he'll come off the bench,
About 70 minutes he'll come on.
Yeah. Make a little cameo, just got a bit go, woo!
Yeah.
So, well, actually, we should cap really briefly on the international. Did anyone watch it? I had it on in the background.
I watched last night. God, it was dreadful. Oh God!
Yesterday, yeah.
God, it was awful. What was that? I don't remember a shot. I don't really remember anything. I think after about 5 minutes, I started looking at my phone and just looked up and was like, 25 minutes, nothing. Nothing. It was just so dull.
It was so
dull, so one-dimensional. We just haven't got the players, have we? Pretty sure. We just haven't got the players coming through. It needs to be sorted.
I think as individuals, those players are great, but as a collective, we're terrible.
It's got to be the coaching. Like you say, James, individually they're they're great players. They get brought together as a collective, and they just don't know what they're doing with each other.
I think they've got to start training them from such a young age, to play in the international scene. And I think we rush the kids to it. Like Oxlade-Chamberlain should really still be in the under-21s,
Yeah.
Getting used to tournament football, getting used to playing in teams, could have been a bit part player for the main team, because, he might actually do something,
Say that, but a lot of these players for their clubs, I know it's a different type of international football, but a lot of them are playing, Champions League, Europa League.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of even more emphasis, I'd say, is put on those games than when they play in internationals for England. So if they're playing their clubs in these games with all the pressure and the emphasis that surrounds it, then you would think that playing for England, on top of the passion that they're supposed to have for putting on their national shirt, they should cope. They should be able to
look at the Spanish team, and look like that. Is Coda guy from Real Madrid who used to play for Malaga, and David De Gea? They both played for the under-21s, and they've won competitions. They've had like 30 odd caps for them. They've got. I
think it's because they have those like national training centres, like in France. Is it like Fontaine or whatever it is, or whatever?
Fontaine was where Frank Lampard was golden and went over the line and wasn't carried. Clairefontaine is the place near here. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. They have those centres where
like they built the World Cup team.
They like blend them through. It's like what you said. I think the Chamberlains, and I do like seeing Wilshere in that England squad, but like I don't know, I think they should go to like the under tournaments.
Definitely last night.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Carl Walker yesterday. I'm not being biased as an Arsenal fan towards us, but he was shocking.
Oh God, he was terrible.
He did not know where to be. He was in the wrong positions. He wasn't.
He cried for Glenn Johnson.
Why doesn't Michael
To be
Richards
fair,
get in the squad? Why doesn't Michael Richards get in the squad? Can someone tell me this?
He's always got a bad leg or ingrown now or something. I don't really.
Yeah, but I'd have that over Kyle Walker and Glenn Johnson.
Days. It was shocking. I was like begging for Glenn Johnson to come back. I was like, it was not Panama, wasn't it? It's like, it's behind.
I don't think
It's behind you. You've got it ready.
I don't think it should all be put on the players necessarily. I think a lot of it needs to go on the coaches and Hodgson as well for making the selections. I mean, my firm belief is that if they're not playing for their clubs consistently, like week in, week out, then they shouldn't be justified in getting a pick for England.
No,
I mean, if they're not good enough for their club, then why are they good enough for their country?
We haven't got the players, mate. That's the thing. We haven't got any players. And as for the manager, who would you have? Who would you have as the manager other than Hodgson? There's not really anyone else English you could have, you know.
Well, I'm not sort of against him as the manager. It's his selection process that I don't necessarily agree with. It just seems to. I mean, this Barkley, whatever his name is, I don't know. He plays for
Everton and he does look good.
Yeah, he's
on the
brilliant.
other hand,
Yeah,
though, like we said, England under 21s, put him in the under 21 team, give him the starting from it, he can get 30 caps then go to a couple of tournaments, then he'll be ready for the first team. That's what they do.
This should be
Rush
me.
him into it.
Yeah, it could just be me. I mean, I've never heard of Barkley. I didn't even know he played for Everton, which kind of leads me back to my point just a minute ago about if they can't play for their clubs week in, week out, regardless of who, we've got no one else to pick. Why put him straight into the straight into the seniors? It's just daft.
And it's calling up these players that are very old in football terms. Like, I mean, I like Ricky Lambert, don't get me wrong, but he's 31. He's being called up. I'm like, what's going on? I mean, when we called up Osman as well, I'm like, are we really getting to that stage? Are we that desperate?
We are, mate. We are.
Like,
we haven't got anyone. That's why we got. That's why we got to have Ricky Lambert up front. You just grin at envy. Like you look at the Spanish national team. Like look at their midfield. They've got about 9 midfielders who walk into our team. And they're not half good. They're fantastic. Fabregas doesn't get in the team.
Yeah.
Cazorla, Massa don't get in the team. That. You take all them three in the midfield over Gerrard, Lampard, and James Milner. But James Milner, my God,
why he consistently gets picked is beyond me.
There's no one else.
But I mean, he tries. It's dog shit.
I was like, what's Ashley Young still doing in this squad? I'm like, he hasn't done anything for you.
I forgot all about him. I forgot about him until last night. I was like, oh God, I remember you.
I really can't bear Danny Welbeck. He's useless. He really is.
He's getting the goals. I know they're against the rubbishy teams, but he's putting the ball in the net, and that's what we need because the striker issue at the moment is like a crisis.
I've got it. We got Rooney, Sturridge,
Rooney had the wedding cake sliced, didn't he, in the head? He had the old straight down the middle. Andy House. I don't know what he's done now. Apparently he's out for a season. Gary Hooper's still don't know what he's doing.
Playing for England.
Yeah, Connor Wickham. I'm like,
Connor Wickham.
I think I'm going to be picked for England before Connor Wickham is. So.
Yeah, see, he's another one. They should have just kept him in the under 21s, and he's coming through it now. Even before it started.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of love here, is there, for England? There's not a lot of love at all.
It's hard to love England.
It's hard. Yeah. When you see the players who get paid thousands of pounds a week to turn out for their national squad and just don't give a shit. You lose faith just because I've said, I mean, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but I've said, just scrap all the Prem players who just consider, because I believe they treat it as just another payday. They don't care whether they win or lose for England, because they know they can just go back home, collect their paycheck, and they've got club football to go to. They haven't got that pride or that passion to put on a shirt and actually win for their country.
That's
when you're scouring the championship, and you find some good solid English players, I reckon they'll do a better job.
We've got to go to the championship and use their players. This is getting depressing, my God.
I know that's the level it's at, but at least those players would show the passion and the determination. They'd show you that they've got the you know, they've got the pride to play for their country.
From what you said, Callum, like if you look at Spain, like we were talking about earlier, that Del Bosco, who's their manager, they'll bleed for him. They'll kill themselves to win games for him. Whereas with England, it's like with Roy Hodgson. I do like Roy Hodgson, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I don't think they're like, if we lose, he's going to be like, oh, shut up, Roy. What did you ever win? With Del Bosco, he could be like everything.
It's not going to be the same Roy.
I'm like, they'll put their bodies on the line for him. Whereas at England, I don't know. I mean, other than I can't even name a player. I don't even think really Gerrard as the captain cares that much.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't give a anything, does he? I think he just cares about himself.
Which is a shame. Yeah, it's a shame.
If they shit for England, it's going to make no bit of difference to their club career because they're still going to get picked for their clubs.
Yeah.
They're still going to make their check at the end of the game. It's just it's treated all wrong, and I think for the FA to come out and blame the introduction of foreign players into the Premier League is the problem. I think it's just weak and it's a cop out.
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember back in 96, 98 when we probably had our best ever England squad.
Yeah, it was 98. Was
World Cup.
Played the Prem then, and that didn't seem to affect it then. So I don't agree with that at all.
Well, it's the pricing of the British players as well. Like, I mean, Andy Carroll at 35 million from Newcastle Liverpool at first. I'm like, well, how can you justify that fee?
Yeah, this is it, isn't it?
I mean, the British players, I think, are overpriced. Yeah, overpriced.
Definitely. 35 for Andy Carroll, you're having a fucking laugh.
Yeah.
Have you not seen him play?
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm an aim for Andy fan. Don't get me wrong. I think we've got players that can't cross, and then his head's so gangly that when they misguided crosses, will just plonk off his head and go in. But
that's how Peter Crouch used to score.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. But regarding England, I don't have much faith.
Right, moving on from all this England talk because it's boring.
How dare you? It's the future of our nation.
It's not. International football sucks. It really does. That's my view anyway.
When there's a World Cup on, I don't think there's anything better. When you have the World Cup, that's just a month of pure enjoyment.
No, not really. Exactly, because we're shit. Anyway, right.
Let the other teams.
Joe, shut up. Let's move on.
Alright, miss.
Right, I did my predictions earlier, but someone's just told me I did my video and I missed out the Tottenham game, so I've got to redo it, which is really annoying. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't really bother, to be honest. But yeah, have we all got our predictions for this week?
I have.
Awesome, Joe? No?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I just said that.
All right. Oh, sorry, I can't tell. It's just like so many people saying that. Okay, so Manchester United, Crystal Palace. I have gone for 3-0. James, what do you think?
I've done 3-1.
Okay.
Just from the point of view of I think Man United will walk all over them, but they do press quite high. And with Ian Holloway, he's just like, right, just run at them, just score me some goals, please. And I think they'll just get a goal out of nothing. They'll get one, and he'll be happy with one. So
Marouan's going to do a job up there, is he?
I don't think it'll be Marouan. It could be Barry Bannon from a free kick or something. He's quite a good new young player they signed from Villa. I'm quite shocked Villa let him go because he's quite a promising little player. But yeah, he's of all the young ones they have at Villa, he was one of the more promising ones, I thought. And with being Scottish as well, I thought Lambert would have kept him, but obviously not. But I think Palace will get a goal, but I still think Man United will just annihilate them.
Cool. Really. All right then, Joe, what do you think for that game?
I go with you, Louise. I think they're going to smash them 3-0, to be honest. I don't see Palace having a chance. I think Man United will obviously win because they always do. So I'm not happy with that score. I'd like to have a 3-0 Palace win. That would be beautiful, but it's never going to happen, is it? So
awesome. All right, Callum, what do you think?
I've gone for 2-0 United, only because the way both teams are playing, not really that sort of convincing, but they seem to be slogging out sort of performances. And I think the last time these two clubs met, albeit in the Carling Cup or whatever it was called, I think Palace actually did beat.
They did 2-1. Dan Ambrose scored from about 40 yards out.
Yeah, it was a free kick, wasn't it? Yeah.
So for that reason, I've gone for just a 2-0. But yeah, you're right.
Awesome. Okay, the next game, Aston Villa Newcastle. I think there's quite a few boring looking games on this week, to be fair, and I think this is going to be one of them, and I've just put it as a 0-0. Callum, what do you think for that one?
I've gone 1-0 Newcastle on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I don't think Villa have got anything in their locker really. I don't think they're a threat.
He looks quite good.
Obviously, but no, I think Newcastle are going to start coming back into it a little bit, and
I think he needs to.
show us what they're made of. I mean, yeah, I don't think Pardew's going to be seeing a contract if they lose, but no, I've gone for a slender 1-0 win for Newcastle.
Cool. And James, what do you think?
I've done Aston Villa to win 2-1. I think Newcastle will go ahead, but like I said just a minute to Callum, Benteke is a warrior. I'm like, this guy, I don't know why no United, City, Arsenal, Chelsea didn't go for him in the summer. The guy's a predator. I'm like, he can do pretty much anything, and I'm like, I just think he'll run Newcastle riot. I think they look frail at the back. Apart from Ben Arthur, I can't really see what Newcastle have to really offer. I mean, Remy's injured, and Papa Cisse, we spoke about it on the previous podcast. I'm like, he's just vanished. It's like he doesn't, he's not the player that he was. So I just think
first season syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I just think Villa are just going to trounce them 2-1.
Awesome. All right then, Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with you, James. I'm going to say 2-1 to Villa. I think they look good. They beat us at the Emirates. They got a bit of luck, but they did. They were unlucky against Chelsea. They were unlucky against Liverpool as well. And I don't think Newcastle are looking too bright. They've got problems, That Kinnear situation, what's going on there? And Pardew has been riding his luck for such a long time. I can't believe he's been in the job for nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
This is the man who was taking West Ham down. He got fired. Then he took Charlton down in the same year. I don't know how the bloke's still in the job.
Yeah.
But they're looking bad. It's looking a bit iffy up at St James's.
I can see him losing and getting sacked this week. I can honestly see. Last week. This week.
He's definitely not going to see out his 8-year contract.
Yeah, I can't see him lasting to the end of the season. The southeast, I was going to say the northeast even, they've got some problems with Sunderland and Newcastle. I just don't think they've got it at the moment, and I'm going to go for a Villa 2-1 win.
Awesome. All right, next game, Fulham West Brom. Again, I've gone for 0-0 because I think it's going to be pretty dull. Joe, do you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go for 1-0 with Fulham and West Brom.
Awesome.
I'd like you say it's going to be boring. I'm going to pretty much say the same thing as well. I don't think it's going to be too thrilling up there. West Brom haven't had a good start to the season after they had such a good year last year. I think they finished 8th. They did. Steve Clark did really well in his first year, and I think it's a shame for them because they lost out on Lukaku, didn't they? Because they wanted to get Lukaku back home, but he's gone to Everton. So I think that's really going to damage West Brom this year because he was so clinical last year.
He carried them, didn't he? For a lot of it.
He did, yeah. He definitely pushed them up the table. They wouldn't have got to 8th without him.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go for the draw. I think. I don't think either team have hit the ground running yet, and it's going to take some time.
Cool. All right then, Callum. What do you think it's going to be?
Unfortunately, I'm following you guys. I've put it down as a ball draw, 0-0. I just can't see either of those teams, bringing anything to the table to get any goals really. It's probably going to be the most boring game of the day, I think. So 0-0 for me, I reckon.
All right then, James.
Like you guys, I've done boring game 1-1. I can't really see anything special from any of them really. I don't know. I said a few podcasts back, Fulham have all the promising, they have quite a promising strike force and some players, but I just think Martin Yohan, I think his time's coming down, and with West Brom as well, they were so good last year, but they weren't reliant on Lukaku, and I don't think with Anelka and everything, he's coming back now, isn't he, after what happened, and I don't think Anelka, either, it's not an age thing, because he wasn't really known for pace and everything anyway, it was just his finishing ability, but I don't think he can keep them at the level they were going last season, so I'm just going to say it's 1-1 and it will be the boring game of the day.
Yeah. Can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, we've sold it well.
Yeah. Right, okay, hang on. And the next game is Hull Cardiff, Hull City Tigers. I know they love being called that.
Yes.
So everyone gets really irate on Twitter when I say that. But I've gone for 1-0 Hull. And we'll start with James this time.
I have done Cardiff City to win 2-0. And I think Peter Odemwingie will get out of his car. In a long time. He's finally got a club. And think he's a bloke that sat there and he's like, you know, I've had all of you lot slag me off so much. I'm going to prove you all right. I really think, I don't think Hull have got, they're in my pick to go down. And I like Cardiff City. I like Malky Mackay as a manager. And I just think Cardiff are going to do it 2-0.
Awesome. All right then, Callum, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I've gone for 2-1 Cardiff on this one. Again, I think Cardiff offer a little bit more going forward. Their strike force, I think, that is a little bit more sort of offensive, if you like, than what Hull have got. It's going to be close, but I think Cardiff might just take it.
Okay, and finally, Joe.
I'm going to go for a Hull City win, actually. I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Hull. I think they seem to be finding life in the Premiership quite well. And like Cal said, they are one of my favourites to go down as well. But I think they're going to just have the edge over Cardiff. I think they feel a bit more positive about being in the Premier League. They've done it before. And
they've got Tom Huddleston now as well. Isn't he amazing?
They have got Fatty Huddleston there. The Theo Walcott, yes.
Needs to cut his hair.
He's not going to cut. He's not cutting his hair until he scores a goal, is he?
Well, we might as well just cut his hair because he never scored.
Don't be mean.
You watch, he'll score this week now. He'll lift up the shirt with a vest. Fuck you.
A scream of
you
Johnston
Right, okay, did I go for everyone? I've forgotten now.
Yeah.
Awesome, a bit slow today. Okay, and Stoke, Man City. I am going for Stoke to win this one, 1-0, because Man City have been a bit weak, really, and I don't like them. So, yeah. We'll start with James. What do you think?
I have done Man City to win 3-1. I think they've got... I can't remember what the name of the centre-back they've just bought, but he's injured, isn't he, straight away?
Dean McAllis.
Dean McAllis, yeah. So they've got that to worry about. I think Stoke will sneak a goal, but I still think Man City are too strong. I think Navas hasn't come into fruition just yet, and he's got to start picking it up. And I think Dzeko and all that are just too strong for Stoke, really.
Cool. All right, Callum, what do you reckon?
I've gone 3-0 to City. I just think, regardless of various injuries that they've got, I think on their day they can sort of destroy anyone with the midfielders and the attackers that they've got. And I agree with James that they're going to have too much for Stoke to handle. So 3-0 to City.
Cool. And what about Joe?
I'm going to go 2-0 for City. Definitely. I can't see Stoke getting any.
I really hope Stoke win now, honestly, because
I can't stand Stoke, but it's a bit more cuddlier without Pulis. But now they've got Mark Hughes, and I can't really stand him either.
It would have proved a point, but I just think he'll just get
I think Man City will have too much time. Even though Stoke have normally done quite alright against Man City in the Britannia. Big teams go there, and they don't usually win, do they? It's a hard place to go. Maybe that was under Pulis when it is all
it's a bit of a culture, like the fans there are a bit of they make it a tough place to go, but I still think City are too strong.
Yeah, it's got to be City.
Cool. Right, the next game is Sunderland-Arsenal. Obviously I've predicted an Arsenal win. 2-1 to Arsenal. Joe, what do you reckon?
2-0 Arsenal. Mesut Ozil going to come off the bench and score on both. that would be beautiful. But no, I think that has too much for Sunderland. I think Pallet Di Canio's in a downward spiral. But I think we feel really positive, after signing Ozil, after the Spurs result. And I think we've got a good run of games now, haven't we? We haven't got many too difficult games coming up. So I think get a good win here, and we can knock on from there. And I think Arsenal will have too much of Sunderland. As long as we play our game, I think we'll be fine.
Awesome. All right, James, what do you reckon?
I've done Arsenal win 4-0.
Yeah.
I think if we get a goal within the first 10 minutes, they're just going to crumble.
Yeah.
And like we said about Newcastle with Pardew, I think it's the same at Sunderland with Di Canio. I think them two could be sacked by the end of this week. I just can't see what Sunderland have. We're on such a high, and I think with Ozil and just the way that we've been playing, I just think it's going to be like old days when we used to go to teams and just spank them 4 or 5-0. I really do think we're just going to go down there and just have a laugh. I think we should.
Have a laugh. Have a good old knees up at the stadium.
Yeah, pretty much. I reckon just sit back and just watch, because I reckon we're going to have a feast. And I'm like,
German festival.
I just think we're going to just get some goals, sit back, just cop for the rest of the game. Really, I can't see. I just can't see what Sunderland have to offer. Really, I don't know. I really think what they're going to do. I think they'll come at us, but we've just got too much on the break. And like what we said about O'Shea and their defence, I think Theo Walcott and all them are far too quick for them now. And they'll just,
If something just come and attack, we'll just annihilate them.
Yeah.
It's the trouble, if they just play all behind the ball, that's when we're going to have the problem. But we've just got to play our game and we'll be alright.
Yeah.
Cool, and Callum?
Yeah, just to mirror what you guys have said, really. I've gone for 3-0 Arsenal. I just think with the high and the morale boost following the North London derby, he's going to be right up there. And then following the signing of Ozil, I think almost all of our squad have done well internationally as well. So they're still going to have that sort of buzz coming into this game. And as we said earlier, Di Canio's in a bit of trouble at the moment. He's openly slagging his players off, and I don't think they've got. I don't think he's got the dressing room. They've got nothing really to offer. I think their most dangerous player was Sessegnon, and they got rid of him pre-season. So I just think we're going to have too much for him going forward. And yeah, as James said, if we get the early goal, they're going to shot like balls knickers, and we'll have them. I think.
Not like the horse knickers, for Christ.
What way to put
Great
it?
analogies.
Yeah.
Family friendly part of
Show
the
it
podcast.
to your kids.
Yeah. Sit around the wireless.
That great battle of the humour.
Right, the next game, which I missed off my predictions, is Tottenham Norwich. I don't know if it's at White Hart Lane or not.
It's at White Hart Lane.
It is at White Hart
it
Lane.
is at White Hart Lane,
Awesome, awesome. Well, off the top of my head, I'm going to go 2-0 to Spurs. So, what do you reckon, James?
I have done 0-0 or 1-1. I think it's going to be the draw of the day. I just think they're just going to cancel each other out the whole game.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
I can see the players that Spurs like. I think they'll have Eriksen and that playing, so they'll have to fret. But I don't know. I think is it Ruddy or Norwich in goal? I think
Ruddy,
he's a brilliant shot stopper. And I just think he's going to cancel them out. And I think that Louise will cancel out Wolfswinkel and the rest of them at Norwich. I just can't. I just think normally every weekend there is that draw of the day, and I think with Fulham and West Brom that's going to be one of them, and I think Tottenham Norwich will be the other.
Cool. All right, Joe, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going for a draw as well. I was going 1-1. I don't think either have got all that. I think Spurs are still going to try and bet in new players, but then again, Norwich have got a lot of new players as well, so could be a tricky one. You were saying Ruddy's a good keeper, so Louise. Louise made a terrible shocker in midweek for France, by the way. Absolutely terrible shocker. So, I'm gonna have to go for the draw. I can't see the team winning, and in my heart of hearts as well, I don't exactly want Spurs to get 3 points. So that obviously influences the decision as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Callum, what do you reckon?
Yeah, fully agree with what you guys have said again. Really, I've gone for 1-1 in that. Both teams are going to be struggling with blending in new players. Spurs, I'm pretty sure, still haven't scored from open play. So unless they get a pen, they're probably not going to get anything. And he's still in Koscielny's pocket, I think.
Counting his change.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the other sort of ball draw of the weekend. I think. 1-1 I've gone for.
Cool. And then the next game is Everton-Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to clinch that with a 1-0 win. What do you reckon? Callum, go back to you.
I've gone 4-1 Chelsea.
Really?
Wow.
On this, yeah.
That's a bit heavy for Jose Mourinho.
I was about to say, I know he was under the Mourinho regime. They're playing some pretty boring football, but it's got to break at some point. And I don't think Martinez is doing. He's doing all right at Everton, but I don't think he's properly settled in yet. But I think they're still good enough to get a goal, but I don't think they'll keep Chelsea at bay for long. So yeah, I think for that reason, I'll stick my neck out there and I'll go for 4-1 Chelsea.
Cool. James, what do you reckon?
I've done it to be 2-2.
Yeah.
Reason being is it's at Goodison, which is a hard place to go to. And I think Martinez, he likes to play against the big sides. Like when he was at Wigan, he beat Arsenal, he did beat Chelsea. I know it wasn't Jose Mourinho's Chelsea, but it's still the same. They've got the same sort of players there. Like they haven't, like Hazard and everything's in there now as well. But Eto'o, but I do think it's going to be 2-2. I think Martinez will finally, get what he wants out of his players, and Lukaku obviously can't play because of the loan, but yeah, I think is it Delafosu or something he got from Barcelona?
Yeah,
quite young.
Yeah,
I think that he might chuck him on, and he's he's a player that most of these English teams know nothing about, and he might pip something up or whatever. And I think Barkley and stuff like that will give Ivanovic and them a good run. And yeah, I think it'll be a good game to watch because they're both quite good attacking sides. And I like Martinez, and I've always said like Mourinho as a person, not very great, but as a football manager, his tactics and everything's spot on. So I just think it's going to be a really good game to watch. So I think it'll be 2-2 there.
Yeah. Cool. All right then, and finally Joe for that game.
Well, I was going to go completely opposite from you, James. I was going to say it's going to be 1-0 Chelsea, but I was going to say it's going to be a very boring game. I think Chelsea are just going to hold out. Yeah, just break them down and then just going to go in the last 10 minutes and kill it off. That's the typical thing you see from Chelsea these days. They weren't very impressive against Hull. They didn't really do much against Man United either. Yeah, the Man United game was so dire.
It was boring.
It was awful, wasn't it? Yeah.
I thought I might watch that. That could be all right. And I hate watching Man United because the women's Van Persie still hurts and just disappointed. And I can't really see Chelsea going on some, goal scoring binge of goodness. And I can't see them doing it anywhere. So I'm just going to say very simply, they're just going to win 1-0, keep it tight at the back, and just nick one through Eto'o. I'd like to see Eto'o play though. That's nice seeing him in the Premier League. That's a good signing, I think.
Yeah.
Going to cost him a lot of money.
He's one of my favourite players of all time.
He's always been a great goal scorer, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Always been a top striker.
I like the way he deals with racism and stuff like that as well. I think he's brilliant for that. Like I remember, I don't know if it was when he was at Mallorca or it might have been when he was at Barcelona. He got a banana thrown at him on the pitch. He just picked it up, peeled it, and ate it. I was like,
that's brilliant. That's more funny.
I was like, this guy is mental. But it's like Balotelli with it. I remember he just picks up the ball, doesn't he, and walks off. And they're like, look, we're playing a game. He's like, no, we're not till they stop. I think he's quality. I've always liked Eto'o.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Okay, and then on Sunday we've got Southampton, West Ham. Now I thought West Ham were sort of doing alright, but they're kind of not. So I have put. What? Don't laugh at my analogy of football.
I thought they were doing alright, but they're actually kind of not.
That's the way you put it. I like
it.
To be honest, that's been West Ham forever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But so I put 1-0 against Southampton. So what do you reckon? Starting with you, Callum.
I've gone for 1-0 Southampton on this one. I kind of like their style of play over West Ham at the moment. I think their squad seems to have more of a unity. It seems to be sort of stronger. You've got obviously Lambert off the back of a successful debut or a couple of games now for England, so he's going to be looking to continue that. And I think he scored for them last weekend. So yeah, I just think they're going to have sort of too much. I mean, West Ham at the moment, I don't hold out much hope for them, to be honest. I think they probably won't go down, but I think they're one of my favourites to be sort of knocking around the area towards the end of the season. I mean, they're struggling up front with Carroll being out for another 6 weeks. They couldn't get Colton Cole back because he failed his medical.
They did get Petric though, who is
they've got that
not a bad player, but he sort of flopped at Fulham. So
yeah. But so I think taking all that into account, I reckon Southampton will probably just put him to the post, and I'll go 1-0.
Brilliant, awesome. And Joe, what do you reckon for that game?
I'm going to say 2-0 to Southampton. I think they've adjusted really well to the Premiership. I think they had a great season last year. They beat some big teams there, and I think it was hell when they got rid of... Who was the bloke? Nigel Atkins they had before this new bloke. Everyone's a bit unsure, but he seems to have done a job there. They've made some good signings there. Who's the bloke, the Kenyan bloke they got from Celtic?
Victor Wanyama.
He looks Wanyama,
I would have loved him at Arsenal.
Yeah, he's solid,
Well, we got Flamini, so you just can't do with that, Jay. Right? Don't worry about it.
You'll be happy with what you've got.
Never think the grass is greener. All right, Southampton, because it really isn't. But West Ham have made a poor start to the Premier League season, so I'm going to go with a Southampton win there.
Cool. And James, what do you reckon?
Well, before I start, I'm going to apologise. I have 2 friends in Charlie and Rob who are West Ham fans that listen, but you're going to lose, lads. I'm sorry. You're going to lose 2-1. your firework display football isn't good enough. You know, when it goes in the air, oh, that's a good one. Oh, look how far that's gone. You know, I'm sick of it. It's boring.
I thought you meant firework because it was West Ham.
No, you look up in. You got to wear a neck brace when you watch West Ham. Otherwise, you break your neck, wouldn't you? You could just look up in the air all the time.
Mate, I'm going to steal that. That's quite possibly the best analogy of West Ham football I've ever heard.
I'm like, Andy Carroll's not there, and I don't think this Petric is going to come in like a house on fire and mash stuff up. I don't think he's going to do it, and I think like Wanyama, Lambert, the Johnny Depp look-alike. I just think they're all going to. I just think Southampton are too strong. They're just too much. So it's going to be 2-1. Southampton, and I'm sorry, Charlie. I don't know it's our birthday next week.
He's going to cry. He'll be so upset.
He cries every night because he's friends with me. So
What's that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Cool. And the final game is on Monday. It's Swansea Liverpool. Now, Liverpool are the only team not to have lost a game so far. Which I sort of only realised when I was looking through. So they're actually doing all right. So I think it's going to be 3-1 to Liverpool. What do you reckon, James?
I've done 2-1 to Liverpool, which annoys me. It's really annoying how well they've started.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that Suarez hasn't been playing as well, and if he does come back, it's only going to make them stronger. And I really hate Brendan Rodgers.
Why do you hate Brendan Rodgers?
I don't know about the rest. I don't know about the rest of you, but I just can't stand the guy. I think he's
I'm not his biggest fan.
I think he's a pompous arsehole. I'm like, the way that he speaks and stuff, I just find him so dull, and I don't know. I think he thinks he's better than what he is, but
he's not very endearing. I don't think. I think that's the problem. He's just
But I don't know with Sturridge's injury how well he is to play, but if he does play, the form he's in, I think he's doing really well. But Swansea, I don't know if it's like winning the League Cup. It's sort of put them up at too high. I think they sort of think, oh yeah, we're brilliant now, and it's a bit of a reality check for them. Yeah.
Does that happen to Birmingham after they
look a bit struggling. I'm like Michu doesn't really look like the Michu that I know and loved last year. This Bonnie, everyone raved about because he got like 45 goals in the Dutch league. I'm not going to lie, I could probably get 45 goals in the Dutch league, but I'm like, well, and I don't know, they just look a bit ropey, Swansea, and I just think Liverpool, like I've said time and time again, it's probably people are going to be like, is that your catchphrase? I think they've just got a bit too much for the rest of them.
Cool. Alright, well that's all this week's game. So I've just got one question as well, obviously being after what's gone on with Arsenal and that, with our signing and winning the North London derby. I can't remember which of you was Wenger in or Wenger out, but what's your kind of views on it now? Or are you
Wenger in, always Wenger in.
It's always got to be.
I can't hate that bloke. I can't want that bloke to fail. Anything, I want him to succeed more than anything in the world, even more than Arsenal succeed. I want Arsenal to succeed. He's put his heart and soul into it for 16 years. And when we lose, you know it kills him. You know it kills him. I can't stand people abusing that man. I really can't. He's given me unbeaten seasons with so many days of joy. I'm sorry, it's always Wenger in. Always Wenger in.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think you can't be an Arsenal fan and then be Wenger out at the same time. It doesn't make sense because without Wenger, there wouldn't be the Arsenal that we know and love today. So
exactly, and you've got to think modern football's different now. Like when we were winning trophies, we didn't have Chelsea buying everyone, didn't have Man City buying everyone. The game's changed a lot now, and he's managed to come through. Let's get us in the Champions League every year on a squad, which fair enough. Most of them you wouldn't really have in your Arsenal starting 11 over the years. Some of the players we've had have been like Jovino. Fuck's sake, he would have picked him, would you? Yeah, exactly. But we've had to make do because we've been paying for the stadium and we've been keeping up our, payments to the bank for the stadium and everything. He's done a fantastic job with what he's had, and I can't want him out. You can't just demand it.
He's made mistakes. So, you can't. There's no denying it. I mean, there's probably a long list of players that should never have got anywhere near an Arsenal shirt, but
that's because we didn't have the money to go out and spend, £40 million like we have done in Ozil now.
That's it, but you can find a better fullback than Andre Santos. Again, just go and scale the Championship for a fullback. They'll do a better job than Santos. and Shamak and Jovino, Scolacci and Nilsson.
Shamak looked good when he first signed, I will say that. Good enough for me to get him on my shirt, okay? So.
Oh, Christ.
Right.
If I just jump in, to start the year, I was very, seesaw with the man. I was like, I don't know. It reminded me of when Brian Clough was at Nottingham Forest. He just took it that year too far. But I believe now Wenger, with the Ozil signing, I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll give you some more time. But I believe now his whole transfer policy has to change. Spending that money on Ozil.
It is changing, mate. It is changing.
No, you can't go out and spend
£2.5 million Ozil.
You can't buy videos and everything anymore. You can buy these youngsters. I don't mind these youngsters, but you've got to play them as well. Because I'm hearing these rave reviews about this Nabry, Akpom, Icefeld. I'm like, show me them. Because the ones that he had last year, I'm like, you're telling me Icefeld can do a better job on that wing than Jovino and that did? Could be Archie do a better job? I want to see him. I'm like, I don't just want to see him in the Carling. Let's bed him in. Let's play him in the, let's get him the Champions League experience. Let's play him in the tough games. But I do believe he can't now sign the likes of a Jovino and that anymore. Or after he's spent 42 million.
No, I don't think he will. I think in January he'll make another big sign.
Yeah, he's going to have to go for, I don't know, a Danny Howe.
Mentality will change. That's the thing that, I mean, I know it's all, political, but all you've got to do is just look at the shirt sales from the Ozil side. And all they've got to do is look at the figures from that and think, Christ, if we bring in a few more players up this, we'll make our money back on merchandise, shirt sales and all the rest of it. And even match tickets, people are going to want to come to the games now because they know they're going to be seeing a player like Mesut Ozil. So, and again, it's all rumours, but they're supposedly giving Wenger a new contract along with 40 million to spend in January.
I'm happy with that.
He's got him scouting Germany apparently.
I don't know. I'm like, if Wenger did win something, which I want him to, like you said, there's nothing I want more to see. Then I think he needs to do like Ferguson. I think he should just, after he's won something, go upstairs because.
That's possibly what he's building up to.
With stress of it all going wrong again after he does win something, because I'm like, the age of the man, he looks withered compared to a few years back. I'm like, he's scared.
He's got older, James.
I know.
Well, the manager of a big club, mate.
Thing in his personal life and everything didn't help. And I'm like, I just think if he does win something, which I really hope he does, just pack it in. But talking about the transfer things we were saying, I mean, he's linked with this free agent Cyprian Marica, or whatever his name is, from Romania. Apparently he's going to be joining either Monday or... Well, and I'm like, he's got 19 goals in 3 seasons. I'm like, no.
That's just backup.
But even as backup, you can't be getting the likes of these anymore. I'm like,
because it's out of the transfer window. It's going to be free. It's not going to cost us like. It's just someone just in case. Don't worry.
The agents is ridiculous, and I'm like, if he's paying this guy 60 to 70 grand a week, and he's got 18 goals in 3 seasons, no. Just wait till Jan. Bring Akpom through.
That's all he's doing. I think he's just looking to bring him in for nothing to see us through till January, because Bentner isn't up to it.
It's like that Park Chu-young. I think I've seen him play once. I think I was at the game. It was Carling Cup versus.
It was.
I don't know what he scored.
Bolton, and I think it was so many years ago. Fabrice Mwamba scored for Bolton. That's how many years back it was. And I'm like, it's like the likes of him. We can't be signing those types of players anymore.
What you've got to consider though is, I don't know who this guy has been playing with previously, but he's going to be in a squad like ours with the midfielders supplying him with balls and stuff. If he's any good, all he's got to do is bring him on the end of it.
Popular clubs. I'm like, if you're a centre forward and you've got 18 goals in 3 seasons, that just speaks for me.
I'm not going to stick up for the guy, and I've never heard of him, but we got to think he's only going to be back because he's supposedly scouting Germany again, so I don't know why his affiliation has gone from France to Germany. I think he's pretty sick of watching
German players. Look at the German players we've signed. They're all good. They're all quality. And Germany is such a good team. I'd scout over there, definitely.
He does it for the team that seems to be doing really well at the time. Like France, he went for during when they won the Euros, and then he went for a lot of Spanish players, didn't he? He had that Marie, Fabregas. there was a few more, like McQuell was another one he took from Barca as a kid.
Yeah.
The guys at Leicester. And so I think because Jervis is doing well at the moment, he's sort of going for the players that, like, he just goes to the national team that's sort of doing well at the time, you know?
Well, he's told his chief scouts to keep an eye on Lars Bender.
Yeah, I would have
Another midfielder, I can't remember his name, but...
Is it Royce? Is another one? Marcus?
Marcus.
That's it, Marco Royce, yeah.
There's quite a few of them that are like quite
He's from Dortmund. That'd probably be another £40 million player because he's mustard. He's really
yeah. Well, like, we've still got the Champions League. That's the thing. He has to sign in January if he's going to sign a striker, one that can play in the Champions League as well, which is going to be so hard because of cup fight. I think the only one that you can really look at is either Benteke or that Daniel who plays for Brazil. I think the guy who keeps turning down Spurs. He's like, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, Suarez, he won't be.
Suarez.
He can play Europa League, can't he? So. Liverpool.
Is that now? League rolling, is it?
Yeah. I think if you play Europa League, you can't play Champions League.
No, that can't be right, can it?
I think it is. I think that's
someone Google it and find out for next week.
But I'm like, I'm just excited though. Like, I'm Wenger in for the moment.
He wasn't though. I did remember you saying before we started this podcast he was.
We've got this Sonogo. I'm like, who is he?
Oh, and then shit. I know he's only had half an hour in 2 games, but
yeah. But then when he throws you out the bag, I'm like, okay, turn me round.
Just be patient, James. It could be a lot worse. If Wenger went,
9 years of age, what a trophy.
Yeah, but I think our Newcastle United film, mate. They never win anything. Our Spurs film.
They're not spent 110 million, and we beat them with a £12 million striker who no one rated.
Yeah, exactly.
Expected to win.
Could be much worse, James. It could be much worse.
They should be winning things, and I will admit, but I think if he does win, just stand down. Like, you've done your service, and I'd take Klopp from Dortmund.
You've done your service. That's not very nice of Mr. Wenger. He's done a lot for you, James. He's made you happy on many occasions.
Yeah. Oh.
For me, Wenger can remain in charge until the day he dies.
Yeah, me too.
For me, I wouldn't, because the trouble is, you lose Wenger, and then who do we get?
Tony Pulis. He's a
You could end up with some Nazi who's out of work who agrees to play by the same rules that the board want, and we could end up with some kid who don't know what he's doing.
Exactly, mate.
Like your Martin O'Neill's or, as you say, the Tony Pulis's of the world.
Can you imagine Tony Pulis at Arsenal? That would just be the worst.
Never happen. You get someone like Laudrup.
I'm happy with Wenger.
Why Laudrup?
He's struggling with Swansea at the moment. He's only had one good season from the championship.
Yeah, let's keep Wenger. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
In Arsenal we trust. Remember that. In Arsenal we trust. Come on.
If Wenger ever left, there would be a host of clubs from around the world ready to snap him up in a second.
I don't think he'd be another manager at another club. I don't think he wants to. I think
James, you're creating such controversy.
And ride off into the sunset.
On that note, I think it is time we ended this podcast. But thank you so much for listening. This was a bit of a longer one because of my fuck up last week. But hopefully we can get the ball rolling. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you all next week.
See you later.
Bye.
See you, chaps.